with Texas Tech. The Cowboys looking for their third conference win. Welcome to Lawrence. Along with Fran Fraschilla, I'm Mark Neely. Fran, we have talked in the past about college coaching being chaos management. Is today even more different for Bill Self?
Yes, chaos management is day-to-day stuff that a coach deals with. But you have to be a crisis manager when adversity hits your program. Kansas has had a share of it all season. And of course, the latest news with Gerald Vick earlier this week taking a leave of absence. And that's almost 40 points that you see that's out of the Kansas lineup today.
So the Jayhawks back home. They have struggled on the road, but they're in the friendly confines of Allen Fieldhouse, where today they start 4 freshmen for the first time in 6 years. Cowboys in black with the game's first possession.
And needless to say, the Cowboys have to be deliberate. They cannot afford early turnovers. They cannot let Kansas get out and run in transition.
The Kansas City area native, Yor-Anei. Freshman trying to work on McCormick, who's getting the start for Kansas, and it's a turnover for OSU.
When you look at Kansas's lineup, yes, there are a lot of pieces missing, but I'm looking at 4 McDonald's All-Americans. And by the way, Dedrick Lawson, one of those guys who's potentially the player of the year in this league, certainly among the finalists.
This is the first career start for McCormick, one of those 4 freshmen. Here he is down low, and a blocked and taken away by Cam McGriff. Here's Likely on the move for the Cowboys.
Remember, Oklahoma State won in here last year, and Cam McGriff had 20.
And he was 7 of 10 from the field in that game. He's off the mark with his first shot today. Agbaji runs into Waters. Now shoots a long 2.
His confidence is soaring since they took the red shirt off. And of course, he's going to be more prominent with Vick on a leave of absence.
Stolen by Dotson. The state team coming off a good performance, but a loss at TCU the other night.
Well, they've had their own share of adversity this year. Mike Boynton had to dismiss 3 members of this team. They've had injuries, and they're without some scholarship guys as well. Mike Boynton has done an excellent job in his first year and a half at Oklahoma State. Last year's team was very close to being an NCAA tournament team.
Oklahoma State held open tryouts a few weeks ago. That's where they were at the time. Anei with that left hand scores the first bucket for Oklahoma State.
Well, he's coming off 20 points at TCU, and not a lot of people know him outside of the Kansas City area, but he's got a bright future in Stillwater. His offense has come leaps and bounds since the start of the year.
That's a 3. Agbaji bounces around, and a rebound for Anei.
Oklahoma State's already had those 2 turnovers, and they cannot afford that.
An open 3 for McGriff. Grimes takes it ahead for KU. Lawson now the Big 12 leader in points and rebounds. Quick pass. Agbaji recognizes late and sets up a Lawson 3.
That's an area he has really improved on lately. Dedrick Lawson was shooting around 20% behind the arc in the first couple of months of the season. But that's an added weapon to the low-post skills he's already shown.
Well, Gerald Vick had the best 3-point shooting percentage for Kansas, 46%. So to make up for that, I guess you look to Agbaji and also Dedrick Lawson.
I think so. And remember, Dotson shoots over 40% in a small sample size.
Shot clock at 3, and a 3 from Waters is off the right rim. Lawson had it for a moment, but McGriff bats it away to DeZagua. And Cam McGriff doing what he does so well, and that's just the quick hands and hustle play. McGriff from the free throw line. Abaji from the backside going for the block. And a push is called. And for head coach Bill Self, we'll see if that streak continues this year.
We had a long talk with him yesterday. He won't say it, but it's certainly important. You know, if you're a Kansas player, and there's so much great tradition here, you do not want to be the team that ends the streak. I think more importantly, Bill Self told us yesterday how excited he was about coaching these freshmen. Practice was spirited yesterday, as we saw. And it's not like they're devoid of talent. That is not the case. Depth, yes. Talent, no.
Well, after the loss Tuesday night to K-State, they asked Coach Self about the streak, and he said, hey, we're not worried about that right now. We just need to get better.
Right. The streak, as I've always said, is a one-game winning streak.
Got to put a lot of those together.
And they have many times.
Back cut, Grimes, an offensive foul, as McGriff also doing what he does well. He leads their team in taking charges.
And that's the one guy that really has to get going for Kansas. Quentin Grimes came in here, top 10 recruits in the country. He's had some great moments. You know, his best moment of the season was the very first game in Indianapolis against Michigan State. He was on fire. It's been very much a roller coaster for him this year.
Had 21 points in that opening game against the Spartans. McGriff, another three. Got it. Makes it a one-point game.
He's got a lot of confidence in this building, as we've already mentioned. And with this young team on the floor for Oklahoma State, he does have to be what Lawson is, I think, for Kansas.
Nice pass to find Abaji for the lay-in.
Mark, you and I were here in October. You live close by. And we knew then, and Bill Self told us, their best pro prospect is Ochai Abaji.
Likely the offensive putback. Abaji, of course, was a red shirt. And Bill said at the time, maybe I made a mistake in red shirt.
Well, remember how many wings they had to start the year.
Dotson and one. Well, the Jayhawks have won 14 consecutive regular season fits ahead as far as the chances to win going into this week's games. Kansas had a 46% chance. Now what's changed? After the loss to K-State, Iowa State is the favorite, and Kansas's chances of clinching at least a share only 24%.
Yeah, and if you're a Kansas State fan, you say, wait a minute, we're 7-2, but you got to look at the schedule down the stretch. They still have to go to Texas, KU, TCU, and then finish up with West Virginia on the road. So when you look at who is where in the standings, you have to keep in mind what's ahead for all these teams. I think there is a strong possibility that you could see 2 or 3 teams share the Big 12 regular season title. And it's not crazy to think that 4 could. And it's been that kind of year in the league, and it's evidenced by the net rankings, which we'll get into later. This has been a very balanced league this year.
Well, the 14 titles, Kansas has won 10 of the 14 outright in 8 of the last 9. There's Dedrick Lawson underneath with a nice adjustment to drop that in.
Nice dime from Charlie Moore, who had a really, really solid game in Manhattan the other night. The former Mr. Illinois basketball transfer from Cal. I think Bill Self and the staff expected more from him this year. This will be an opportune time down the stretch without Vic to show what he is capable of doing.
Shot clock at 5 as Waters launches a 3. Splash.
We've seen that before. Wendy Waters, one of the best shooters in this league.
46% on the season, but he's hitting over 56% of his threes in conference play.
And don't foul him either.
Because he's one of the, I think, the second best free throw shooter in the country right now, off the mark for more.
95%.
Likely an adjustment, too strong. Ane comes down with it.
Oh yeah, that's good effort. Really good effort by the young big guy. Oklahoma State playing with their 2 freshmen as well. So a lot of youth on the floor today.
I like the timeout, the quick timeout after the 4-0 deficit by Mike Boynton for Oklahoma State. Kind of settled his team down.
It did. Mike Boynton is really poised for a young coach.
Lightfoot's open. It really has not been his trademark to shoot a lot of them. He's been only shot 15 now on the year. McGriff.
That's a nice play.
Ane double, trying to fight his way through. And it's tied up. Possession arrow will give it to Kansas. Well, coming up later today on ESPN, we'll have another huge SEC, ACC college hoop doubleheader for you at 4 Eastern. Our Saturday showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy takes you to Knoxville for Florida and Tennessee. Number 1, Tennessee. Then at 6, Saturday primetime presented by H&R Block. Number 2, number 3, Duke, Virginia.
That's going to be a rematch of that win in Durham by Duke.
1 by 2 back on January 19th.
How about Virginia? They got to go to Carolina on Monday night. So a challenging weekend for the Cavaliers.
Likely a spin move in the lane, and it's a 1-point game.
He's the only pure point guard this team has, and the freshman from the Dallas area has been really solid this year. I remember watching practice in October, and the coaching staff compared him, ready for this, to Tony Allen.
Wow.
And that's a pretty good compliment. Former Cowboys star.
You mentioned it, the last game, came home to the Metroplex, played well against TCU with 17 points.
Yep. Strong move right here. Played at Timberview High School in Mansfield. Down in the southern part of the Mid-Cities. Part of the state championship, 5A.
Add the 7 assists he had on Wednesday night at TCU. Also a career-high 4 steals.
Yep. Those 2 freshmen were really outstanding, and they had a chance to steal that game.
And a Kansas travel in the corner. And a look of consternation on the face of Dedrick Lawson called for that. Second Kansas turnover. We turned it over 23 times in Manhattan on Tuesday night. Second most. They turned it over 24 times in their loss at Iowa State. Likely.
Oh, nice tip by Demuth.
Duncan Demuth in the game. He's been battling a bit of an injury. Only played 1 minute the other night at TCU. Only played 1 minute against Kansas State the last couple of games.
Quick double. They're going to double McCormick and Lawson whenever they can.
Here's the other Lawson. KJ off the mark with a 3. Rebound McCormick. KJ going back up.
Oh, nice hit.
And brother Dedrick cleans it up.
Really nice job by Dedrick Lawson. He stayed alive. That took great agility right there. He cupped that ball and softly dropped it in the basket. Good effort on the offensive glass by David McCormick.
Ill-advised pass by Likely is picked off. Moore finds Dotson, who goes the other way. Demuth crashing in. Dotson. And a foul at the 10:49 mark, and a 1-point lead for Kansas.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%.
It's been a battle of attrition, really, for both these teams. But on the Kansas side, you see Marcus Garrett. We may not see him again today due to a high ankle sprain, but it really began with Azubuike, who only plays 9 games, who early had 2 injuries. The last one knocked him out for the season, and Silvio De Sousa with the NCAA ruling out.
Yes, and that's why we always say college coaching, it's not about X and O's recruiting, it's about crisis management. You're paid to handle adversity. This team has suffered a lot of adversity. Not so much, maybe more, a little bit more than some teams in a given year, but everybody goes through this, and you just have to figure out a way to keep your team together, and this team has talent.
Rounded out for Dotson on a 3 attempt. Long rebound. It's run out by Curtis Jones, who's checked in for the Cowboys. Transfer from Indiana.
Both teams essentially playing with 7-man scholarship rosters. 8 really for Kansas, 7 for Oklahoma State.
Off the hands of Ane. Dotson wants to take it to the rim. It goes in. Ane kind of looking at his finger like he may have hit the rim at an awkward spot. It appears to be okay.
Boy, Dotson is as fast as they come. Seen it all year. May not be a faster player coast to coast, in power conference basketball than this guy.
Zaga almost was stripped. Likely on the drive, dumps it off. DeMuth from the backside, blocked by McCormick. Grimes, long with the three. And then Zaga falling down. The KU crowd wanted to travel, but
Kelly Self felt he bobbled it and gave him the benefit of the doubt. Good hustle. That's not a pass that's going to be making it. But I want you to watch Dotson. He recognizes when he gets this, when he comes up with this ball, he's surveying. Watch him, watch his eyes. He knows that DeMuth is going to be no resistance at the rim, and rather than hesitate, he just basically goes right through him. If that's a little bit better defender, shot blocker, he might have hesitated a little bit, but we've watched Dotson all year, and there's really no hesitation in his game when he's got the ball in transition.
It takes about a step and a half, and he's at full speed.
Exactly.
7 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists already for Devon Dotson. McCormick switches to pick up Waters, and Waters kisses it in off the glass.
Oh, he went wrong foot layup right there. That's hard. He recognized that he had a big guy on him that he could drive, but he had to kind of shoot a little knuckleball because McCormick was thinking block. So Lindy went off the wrong foot and upset McCormick's shot blocking timing.
Threw him a little curveball there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Underneath, and they with the block, but a foul on Oklahoma State. Well, Agbaji, since having the red shirt taken off and now the starter, even with the more minutes, he has not shied away. Numbers have really gone up as a starter.
Yeah, they really have. The thing that has struck me from the very moment that they took the red shirt off was, and I think it was TCU, but it's poise. It's just the poise he plays with, and he plays with juice. And he's given this team maybe a little more energy than they were playing with, quite frankly, when they took the red shirt off after the Azubuike injury. His red shirt came off after a dreadful loss up at Iowa State, as you know.
Kansas by 3s. We have 8.5 minutes to go first half from Lawrence. Zaga hands it off, and McGriff was in the right spot.
And usually is. Last year he averaged 15 points a game against Kansas in 3 outings. Cowboys won 2 of them.
McGriff gets a hand in the way of that pass intended for McCormick and creates another steal. Jones straight line driving.
Wow. That was fast.
And that gets the attention of Bill Self. Timeout, Kansas.
Well, Cam McGriff, he loves playing in this building. No question about it. Take a look right here at the hustle play. And Curtis Jones showing a little speed. Transfer from Indiana. Getting it done in Allen Fieldhouse.
I hear it in the background. She's watching it too, saying, and this is where. Here we go. See you next week. Yeah.
Connors, Dallin Cuffin studio. Heavyweights slugging it out in Ann Arbor, and maybe the heaviest of all the heavyweights, the benefactor here, Dallin.
Ethan Happ dominant in this game so far, 10 points in less than 10 minutes on the road. Remember, the Badgers beat Michigan up in Wisconsin.
Meantime, Duke, Virginia, 6 Eastern tonight on ESPN, but don't forget about the Heels and Hokies.
Yeah, the Hokies playing without Justin Robinson, their point guard still. Tough.
Mark and Fran, back to you.
Dallin, Kevin, thanks very much. That's a look at Curtis Jones. After that straight line drive, Fran, he came up limping and he's having his left ankle looked at. For a team that really only has 7 healthy bodies, we can ill afford to lose another.
That's a good sign that he's walking around, because he was not walking that well when he went to the bench. So hopefully he'll just shake that off.
The 3 rims out, and then Lightfoot skying for the rebound, and they going after it as well will pick up the foul.
And that's what Mitch does. He's a hustle guy. Remember, this guy started last year in the Big 12 tournament in the NCAAs because of the injury to Azubuike. When he came here from Gilbert, Arizona, he's got a lot of family and KU ties to the Kansas City area. We had him at Under Armour camp, and I remember talking to him as a freshman. He said, Coach, it's been my dream to play here. I could probably start or be a star at other places. I just wanted to be a Kansas Jayhawk. And that's what he's been. He's been called upon to be a hustle guy. Let's take a look here. We got a hook and hold. See, I think the hook and hold call is more when two guys are on the floor.
Underneath the basket, usually.
I don't think that's a hook and hold as much as it is a foul.
So the officials reviewing. They gave the foul actually to Dzagwa on the backside and not Ine, so they're reviewing that.
Now, they do want to protect an airborne player. There's no question.
You didn't see any flagrant one or anything along those lines?
Well, if it's hook and hold, it'll definitely be a flagrant one.
But you didn't see a hook and hold.
But here's the issue. I haven't seen a hook and hold this year on a rebound where both guys are in the air. It's usually on two guys who are on the ground and you don't want the other guy to jump. In this case, watch Dzagwa. He's going to pull with the right hand. And by definition, they may be able to call that a hook and hold. I think it's a common foul myself. But because of the emphasis this year on safety of players airborne, I have a feeling right now it's a flagrant one. Excuse me, a common foul.
And that's going to be the call.
Yeah, that's a good call.
From Kelly Self.
There wasn't much premeditation, if you know what I mean.
Wasn't much time. Dzagwa just gets the common foul.
Yeah.
Fourth team foul against the Cowboys.
Yeah, usually zone this, but they go quickly to man. Good scouting report defense. They took away the lob.
Edith Lawson gets it back from Abaji. And an open Dotson from the corner.
That's where he makes it. I'm telling you, he makes those corner threes like it's a drink of water. And I don't know how a point guard ends up in that spot as much as Dotson does, but he is really comfortable from that left corner.
Left corner, here's Waters, but Abaji was able to jump out defensively.
Yeah, did you see that closeout by Abaji?
Lightning quick. McGriff's not been shy to shoot the three, and that one rattles out. All of Kansas's points, that's kicked by Waters. Take a look at the Dotson three, though, from that left corner.
Yeah, take a look now. He has a way all season long of ending up in that corner. And all the attention on Lawson draws the defense in. And, you know, in the NBA, that's a shorter three than the three that's out at the top of the line by a foot or two. But in college, it's the same distance, but he's very comfortable in that corner.
10 points for Dotson. He, Dedrick Lawson, Abaji have accounted for all the scoring so far for Kansas.
Just watch Abaji. He plays like he's a sophomore or junior.
5 to shoot, so Moore launches. Run down in the corner by Dzagwa.
Cowboys have the pace of the game where they want it. They've taken the crowd out. And minus a couple turnovers that have led to runouts, have done a nice job in a half court.
Wide pass from Waters. Well, tonight on ABC's NBA Saturday Primetime, presented by HyperX Gaming, it's a clash between two of the association's most exciting players, Russell Westbrook and the Thunder, taking on James Harden and the Rockets. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown, 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app.
Hey, James Harden got into it with a former Jayhawk the other
Frank
night.
Mason a little bit.
Yeah, Frank was having none of it.
Frank kind of came up with a hand and got in the beard of Harden. I guess you don't do that. And Harden, after the play, was stopped, threw the ball at the legs of Frank Mason, who took offense to that. Likely is it.
Wow. Wow, great 2-on-1, first of all.
Lightfoot stopping that dunk attempt from Cam McGriff.
Yeah, he did, because that was poster stuff. Take a look right here. And the fans love it, because he said, not in this house. Not in Fogg's house. Not in Dr. Naismith's house. Am I going to let you dunk? Good hard foul.
You know, Cam McGriff's one of the guys in the Big 12. It takes some guts to get in the way of that freight train.
I agree.
And free throw hit about every part of the rim and didn't go in.
Cam's only a junior, but to me, he's been one of the underrated good players in the Big 12 Conference so far in his career.
Dallas area player whose dad was in the military. You can certainly see that inspiration in him from his dad's background.
Well, when you talk to Cam McGriff as we have, you can tell he's a young man. He's a sharp young guy. See if they can get this ball inside.
Baji's three.
That's good.
You're in the perfect spot to see that one was on the line.
Yep. And you know what I love about it? There's absolutely no hesitation. There's no freshman, well, should I shoot this or not? The young man plays with great confidence and poise.
Kansas now 3 of 11 3-point shooting today.
Now watch this ball go in and watch the black jerseys. And look, no hesitation, great follow through. Look at him hold that follow through. That is textbook right there.
Lightfoot just picked up his second personal. 5 minutes to play in the half, and he's going to come out from McCormick.
We were working with your son Trevor on the shooting yesterday, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you, the one thing young players don't do is they do not hold their follow through at the top. And that last three by Abaji was textbook. Hold it up there like a swan's nest.
McGriff fouled. That'll be all McCormick. That's his second.
McGriff, you mentioned freight train, and that's exactly what we have right now, because he is not bothered by who is in that lane.
And you saw Bill Self, of the teams that have given him trouble as the Kansas head coach, it's been his alma mater, Oklahoma State. In fact, they're the last team to win here just over a year ago. Beat Kansas 84-79 on February 3rd of last season. Since then, Kansas has won 16 in a row here at Allen Fieldhouse.
And Oklahoma State, as I recall, is one of 2 Big 12 teams that in the Bill Self era have 2 wins in here. Iowa State's got 2, and of course we remember the Marcus Smart.
Yes.
Backward
flip after the game.
Yeah. Bill Forte and Smart.
Of course, Oklahoma State won both regular season meetings last year. First team to do that against the Bill Self team in Big 12 play. Iowa State's won here twice, as have the Cowboys with Bill Self at the helm. Driving Moore, won't fall, tipped around. I'm going to say last touch by McGriff.
I don't think so. I thought Lawson got that one last. It's not reviewable. Marcus Pettigrew from the outside did not come in and help. Didn't think there was a need to help Kelly Self. I had the same reaction.
It definitely looked like it went off Lawson.
Yeah.
Moore floats it up, banks it in. Our crew tells us, though, that a quick look, McGriff did touch it last.
He did touch it last.
Good call.
And Kelly Self's made that call about 50,000 more times than you and I have.
Yes. Kansas led by as many as 6. They're up by 4 with 4 minutes to play in the half.
You see how Kansas closes out on Lindy Waters quickly.
Possession arrow will keep it with Oklahoma State. Timeout. 28-24 KU.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor.
Time report, Roy's boys are red hot. We'll check in on North Carolina. Also talk about the key to the big one tonight between Duke and Virginia. What's the verdict so far on Kansas without LeGerald Vick?
You heard Franny talking about it. The freshman group is talented. It's just Devon Dotson and Ochai Agbaji in particular are going to have to play a lot better. And Franny, I know you're a Big 12 guy. Everybody talks about that. But I know you got a fix for the Ivy League, too. Your Crimson broke my heart last night against the Lions. Triple OT, great game.
What a game. What a game down. I was watching it in my room here in Lawrence. Triple overtime. Great effort by Columbia. How about this? There must have been like 7 buzzer beaters in that game. And Columbia loses. They have to drive to Dartmouth right after the game and play Dartmouth today. The Ivy League is awesome. Dallin was an outstanding player at Columbia, but I was pulling for the Crimson last night.
Of course, you had a son who played for them. It was a great game on ESPN Plus last night.
Absolutely. If you don't get Plus,
you're missing out.
You're missing out. UCF stuff, soccer, college basketball. Absolutely.
3 ball misses for Kansas. And out of bounds. They're going to have a foul on Kansas.
I said UCF. I meant
UFC. Yeah. Speaking of which, don't miss UFC 234, presented by Modelo, live from Rod Laver Arena, Melbourne, Australia. ESPN and Deportes have the preliminary fight starting at 8 Eastern. Then at 10, the main event. Middleweight champ Robert Whitaker and Kelvin Gastelum will be available on pay-per-view. If you'd like to order the main event, go online to ESPN.com. 1-1 coming for Lindy Waters after the 7th Kansas team foul.
This is exciting. I love watching this guy shoot free throws.
And his numbers are off the charts. He's now 56 of 59 on the season from the line with that make.
You know what's crazy about Lindy Waters? He shot 68% from the line as a freshman and only 77% as a sophomore.
Yeah, he has really picked it up. And a guy from Wofford's the only guy who leads him in the
Fletcher
nation.
McGee,
yeah,
who's in his own right an outstanding shooter.
But is tied up with just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. 3 from Abaji.
Yep.
Well, without Gerald Vick, they're going to have to find that 3-point shooting piece, and Abaji's certainly a prime candidate.
Well, he's a great defender, too. He's really engaged. We talked about the poise. This guy didn't have a turnover in the first 71 minutes after Bill Self took the red shirt off. He is going to be a star at Kansas. And he got very little recruitment until his senior year.
A lot of dribbling from Likely, gives it up. Ane. KJ Lawson took a shot. Now loose ball, Likely diving for, giving up the body, and with some help up from head coach Mike Boynton. Lawson, I think, took one near the throat on that rebound attempt.
You know what I love about college basketball?
There's a lot of places you could go with this one.
Yeah, that's right. You got Likely, Ane, and Abaji out there, and you're playing against and with 3 McDonald's All-Americans, and you can't tell the difference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, McCormick's on the bench with fouls. He's a McDonald's All-American, and your Ane is going to be a really good big man. How good Abaji's going to be.
KJ Lawson trying to get past it and just out to the crease to get it off the backboard and in. Quick pass to Zagwa. His first shot of the game, a 3-pointer.
That kid is a basketball junkie right there. From Tampa, Florida. High school teammate Kevin Knox.
And part of the game plan at Kansas today was to limit to Zagwa, and they had until that 3.
And you know what? Lindy Waters hasn't got a lot of open looks. It's so much fun watching this guy.
Abaji shoots over McGriff. And he hits his third 3 of the game.
Yeah. Oh, man. You know, he was 3 for 3 in the exhibition games, which you can play in red shirt. And when the red shirt came off against TCU, I didn't expect this poise.
McGriff, nice feed from Ane with McGriff sprinting towards the bucket, and McGriff has 11 in the first half after that 20-point game here a year ago.
We knew Abaji had the talent. I just didn't know how much poise he had to be stuck on the court. Young man from Oak Park, right here in your area, Kansas City. Take a look, sizes up. You see how he holds that follow through every single time. And then we talked about the big guy, Ane. Great dime inside to Cam McGriff.
A couple of Kansas City area guys. I mentioned Ane as well, who's here in Allen Fieldhouse for the first time.
Yeah, neither guy was heavily recruited, right?
Yes, and Ane was here as a fan as a sophomore in high school. His next time into Allen Fieldhouse was here last night during their shoot-around. Waters 3. Well, you mentioned Lindy Waters had been quiet from long range, and he awakens.
Those two guys can really shoot it. Zagwa and Waters. They've let the game come to them today. No forced threes.
Let's put them in double figures and tied the game, and KJ Lawson got in a tough spot, and now Oklahoma State can hold it for the final shot of the half and try to take a lead to the intermission. Likely did everything he could to create some space. Being defended by Dotson. He got a pretty good look, but we're tied at the intermission.
Remember, this team came in and won last year, Mark. We're going to have an interesting second half.
Kansas and Oklahoma State tied at 36 here at Allen Fieldhouse. Been a fun first half. Now let's send you to the studio. Kevin Connors, Dallin Cuff. Fellas, take it away. Second half from Allen Fieldhouse. Oklahoma State and 13th ranked Kansas tied at 36. And welcome back in courtside at the Fieldhouse along with Fran Fraschilla. I'm Mark Neely. Fran, for the first time in 6 years, Kansas started 4 freshmen. 2 of those freshmen accounted for 25 of their 36 points.
Yeah, they've been excellent. 6 freshmen for both teams started today. Kansas particularly young. And let's take a look. First of all, you're talking about a kid who's had a tremendous freshman year. Devon Dotson, speed, open court, defense, knocking down threes. And then how about Ochai Agbaji, the youngster from Kansas City, who's come out of seemingly nowhere to give Kansas a huge lift. But the juniors for Oklahoma State, Cameron Griff, who won in here last year, and Wendy Waters, who is just a terrific shooter, scorer, great poise. Fun game. Oklahoma State's done a good job of hanging in this game and playing with some savvy.
Well, here we go for half number 2. Kansas Jayhawks in their 14 consecutive regular season titles have never lost more than 5 conference games. If they were to fall today, that would be conference loss number 5. Lawson comes out and gets the fortunate bounce for a 3. As much as this team has struggled on the road this year, Fran, I think these fans realize they have to protect home court.
There's no question about it. The advantage Kansas has most every year in winning that title or keeping it is they're the team of the top 5 that has not lost a home game yet.
Ane taken right off the bounce off the rim by Agbaji. Agbaji. Drives, looking, a dangerous pass.
Yeah, and Bill Self's not going to like that. Good hustle.
Fortunate to get it back, and KU gets a gift too. The Grimes pass was a turnover, and Kansas was fortunate to get it right back. 17 for Agbaji.
23 is his career high, I believe. At Texas, 24.
24. At Texas, a career high. Fadeaway, Dezagua off the heel. A Diedrich Lawson rebound. Dotson surveys. Elects to drive and kick it out to Agbaji.
Bill Self told us yesterday that without Gerald Vick, he thought he would really enjoy coaching these young freshmen who've been thrust into more prominent roles. But what a start by Kansas. Remember, they got out 4-0 before Mike Boynton took a quick timeout, and he may need one here shortly.
A 6-0 run for Kansas to begin the second half. Ane in a crowd, passes out. McGriff. Pump fake, fell short. Dotson with his speed tracks down the rebound, but Dezagua steals the outlet. Ane going up for the jam, and for the second time today, Lightfoot says, not here. And a travel was called on Ane in the process.
Watch this now. They call a travel here. Looks like 1-2 to me, but what a block. Big guy needs a little strength, but you don't bring it in here on Mitch Lightfoot.
Diedrich Lawson, he's one of 2 Big 12 players who win these finalists.
Yep, Derek Culver from Texas Tech the other, but Diedrich Lawson, 12 double-doubles on the year. He basically gives Bill Self 20 and 10 every night. And the one thing we mentioned, 15 double-doubles, excuse me. The one thing that really sticks out to me is how much he's improved that outside shooting. He's shooting 38% from 3 in conference play, and that just augments how unstoppable he is inside for Kansas. Little zone now by Oklahoma State out of the timeout.
Grimes shoots over the zone short with the 3, and a rebound right to Likely. First field goal missed by the Jayhawks, who had hit their first 3 out of the locker room.
You watch Oklahoma State, they may be shorthanded, but they are really, really well coached.
Dzagwa catch and shoot 3, nails it.
Right out of the timeout. They set up a great play right here. It looked like it was going to be a back screen for Dzagwa, and he snuck behind it.
And McGriff takes the charge. That goes on Grimes.
That's the second personal foul, first team foul on Kansas.
Boy, Dzagwa was able to get that 3 off so quickly. They kept him quiet most of the first half, but he hit a late 3 that helped them tie the game at the intermission.
Well, that's good coaching, right? When you set something up for one of your better players, and they did that well.
Dzagwa again off the left rim that time, and a light foot rebound. Dedrick Lawson in and out. Lightfoot offensive putback.
He's a folk hero here, even if he plays 10 minutes a game, because he gives you everything he has. You don't run any plays for him. It's all about hustle and limited mistakes.
Away from the ball, a Kansas foul stops the clock. And we come to a timeout. 44-39, Jayhawks by 5.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12.
According to America's biggest test, now with 5GE. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Let's take a look at this genius moment brought to you by Drive Time.
Well, this was a genius moment by Michael Boynton coming out of the timeout. First bucket of the second half. Watch Dzagwa. Now, we know he's a shooter, but you don't want to give up a back screen layup here. So watch Dotson get inside of the screen so he protects the basket. But in doing so, they just turn around and re-screen Dotson inside. Too late. Can't get out in time. Quick release, as you mentioned, and Dzagwa gets the first 3 points of the second half for the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
He doesn't need much space to get that shot off. He says he, in the offseason, shoots something crazy like 25,000 three-pointers.
He's a gym rat. He's a gym rat. His dad was his high school coach. He scored 2,100 points at Tampa Catholic, and we mentioned his more famous teammate, Kevin Knox, who played at Kentucky, now with the NBA. But you love talking to this guy whenever I come to practice, because all we do is talk ball. And you know me.
You don't have to.
I'll talk ball.
I remember 2 years ago, his freshman year, Brad Underwood said, hey, I asked him about Dzagwa, and he said, one thing you're going to notice, he does not lack in confidence.
No.
And that was as a freshman. And he's elevated his game, certainly this year.
And Oklahoma State's job is to stay in this game.
Hanging around.
Yeah, just, you know, play 4-minute games right now. Just be within 3 or 4 or 5 going down the home stretch. Do not let Kansas go on one of those Allen Fieldhouse runs.
Right foot. There was Waters who tried to picked up the foul. But Oklahoma State's done a nice job of not giving up that big run. They've only trailed by as many as 6. Mike Boynton's team led by 1 a couple of different times.
I'll tell you, he very rarely gets on the officials. And this guy from Brooklyn, New York, was recruited by Eddie Fogler to play at South Carolina. And you look at his lineage, it's incredible. He played for Eddie. He also played for Dave Odom. He worked for Frank Martin and Darren Horn.
And they're trying to win back-to-back years at Allen Fieldhouse. The last team to do that was Iowa State in 2000 and 2001. The Cyclones, by the way, won the regular season each of those years.
Yeah, that was the Jamal Tinsley, Marcus Fizer teams.
Rebound by Oklahoma State. By the way, the last time Oklahoma State won back-to-back years here at Allen Fieldhouse, John F. Kennedy was in the White House, 1962 and 1963.
It's amazing that the great Eddie Sutton, who, by the way, will be in the Hall of Fame soon, never won in Allen Fieldhouse as a coach.
Lindy Waters' three makes it a one-point game.
Every time they stay close, especially with this young Kansas team, it puts more pressure on Kansas. They know they're supposed to win at home.
Open look, Diedrich Lawson.
He's money. He really is money.
Again, this team has dealt with so much. He's the one guy they cannot do without.
There's no question. Just put up 20 and 10 in the book every night.
Oklahoma State has hit 6 threes. They lead the Big 12, hitting nearly 9 a game. That's a 2 from McGriff. 47-46. Lawson, one dribble, goes up and is fouled. Well, at the top of the telecast, we mentioned that coaching is always about chaos management, but it's turned into crisis management for Bill Self and KU.
And everybody deals with it, you know. And there's the story of the season right now. Obviously, Vic leaving this week. No scheduled return to this point. Azubuike out for the year. They think they'll get this guy, Marcus Garrett, back maybe as early as Monday or next Saturday. And Silvio De Souza has been suspended for the next year and a half. And so to pick up the slack, it's got to be the two young guys. Lawson, they have today.
KU has appealed to the NCAA about the De Souza ruling. They hope to hear back from that within the next week or two. And that should put the final stamp one way or another, whether he plays this year or not. We're next.
I thought 2 years was too long.
McGriff.
Look at that. Look at that.
Tie game, 49-all.
This is no surprise, Mark.
Dotson trying to answer for Kansas and does with his speed.
That coaching staff of Oklahoma State did not like that. Tie the game, and then Dotson's speed, 94 feet, rim to rim.
Likely angled that over the block attempt by Lightfoot, and it was off the mark.
Always under control.
Diedrich. Maybe the one time you'd like to see a little more offense run by Kansas there.
Watch how they use a knee in the high post.
Likely fighting his way, and Lightfoot has been determined on the glass today. Dotson hesitated, drives. Foul on the floor. Even had it gone, no bucket.
Well, Cam McGriff quieted this arena with this three right here. Ties the game up. And then you'll see Dotson come right back through that defense, which is not set up. They celebrated a little bit and didn't get 5 back into the paint and built that wall.
Oklahoma State foul was on Curtis Jones, who's back. Remember, first half, he went off what looked like a left ankle injury. Lawson left it short, and it went off a body out of bounds off Oklahoma State, says baseline official Rick Crawford.
Yeah, Lawson very fortunate. He went right over the back of Likely. I don't know if he made contact because he is 6'9", Likely smaller, but reached right over the top, poked that ball away.
Grimes gets in the lane. Lightfoot cleans it up. Well, the freshman have been a story for Kansas, but also the junior Mitch Lightfoot has been a big story today for KU.
It's all about hustle and effort. Tough shot, tough shot.
Wow!
What a play.
McGriff.
What a play by Cam McGriff.
He'll take the chorus of boos from the Allen Fieldhouse crowd.
Oh, man, that was great hustle. A little different defense now, 1-3-1.
Agbaji from the corner. Here we go at Allen Fieldhouse.
I think it all started because of a drive by Dotson.
A Gazagua miss. Abaji has hit 20 today. It stays at 20 points. Lightfoot blocked off enough by Gazagua that he couldn't tip that one in.
That roof would have came off if Abaji had knocked that one down. Cowboys must maintain their poise. Kansas wants this game going at a rapid pace right now.
Likely trying to feed a Kansas steal and a likely foul on Grimes to stop the break.
All hustle in here, both ways. Watch Mitch Lightfoot. Cameron Griff showing you some athleticism and hustle. Back at you, my man. But KU not done yet. Perfect follow through from the corner.
Number 3, Virginia, round 2, tonight at 6 on ESPN.
Well, we're just getting things started here at Allen Fieldhouse. Who do you like number 2 against number 3 tonight?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Virginia's going to try to control the tempo at a slower rate. Duke will try to get out and run. Duke can overwhelm you with athleticism. Virginia has experience. I'm going to race home to Dallas and get there for about the last 30 minutes. But I have no idea who's going to win that game. Those teams could meet not just 2 more times, but 3 more times.
Right.
You know,
Conference tournament and in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. They're both likely to be 1 seeds. So we're going to see a lot more of that matchup.
Grimes. That's a player that's been much maligned this year. Where do you see him and the other freshman guards for Kansas a year from now?
Well, I think hopefully they're going to be right back here on campus, first of all. But what I loved about Quentin Grimes right there, out of the timeout, there was no hesitation.
His first bucket of the game.
You know, he'd be a really good freshman and with a potential for a great future if people didn't have him off to the NBA before he ever arrived here.
McGriff. Kansas ball. Coming up tonight following the Washington-Arizona State game on ESPN. Stick around for SportsCenter. John Anderson and Kenny Mayne will recap the Thunder Rockets game with James Harden 30-point streak on the line. Also Jay Billis takeaway from Duke, Virginia, and post-reaction fight from UFC 234 in Australia. Midnight Eastern, SportsCenter on ESPN.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. No hesitation.
A 9-0 Kansas run has given them their largest lead. Jumper Jones. Ane. Batted around, and it's Lightfoot, who has been in the right spot just about every time today for Kansas. Abaji.
Well, Dotson gets it going in this half, but watch Grimes. Out of a timeout, no hesitation. Comes right back, in and out, no hesitation. And then I want you to watch the follow-through of Abaji here. This is perfect shooting form right here. Watch him hold the follow-through at the top like a swan's neck. And it doesn't get any better than that. And what a performance by these 3 freshmen.
A career-high 5 threes for Abaji today, who has 23 points. Been a 12-0 Kansas run.
And I'm going to tell you, after McGriff hit the 3, we talked about this, Dotson going coast to coast versus that lackluster defense is what you don't want if you're Mike Boynton, because that opened up the floodgates.
A 12-0 Kansas run, 4 made threes, 2 by Agbaji, 2 by Grimes.
I think this whole team should come back next year. I really do. Dedrick Lawson is, you know, probably having as good a year as you could have. He may test the waters, but...
Well, your point well taken on Grimes. When you come in as a top 10 overall recruit, people think automatically you're one and done. There are some exceptions. Quentin Grimes may be one of those exceptions.
You know, every freshman runs his own race. We've seen guys that come in with... First of all, what do the rankings mean?
Right, that's subjective.
Well, they're subjective. You're watching... I watched practice this year, and I thought Agbaji was Grimes. You know?
Right.
I mean, I knew who they were, but Agbaji looks like
the number 8 overall recruit. Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's not highly recruited.
These are only rankings. They don't mean a thing. The truth is always on the court. Just remember that, young guys. The truth is on the court. Put those damn press clippings away. Stop worrying about rankings.
Lightfoot swings it to Dedrick Lawson.
Money. And you know what I love? The defensive energy is sky high right now. No breakdowns like early in that Kansas State game.
Ane kicks it out. Likely passes it up and finds McGriff for the flush. Great ball movement by the Cowboys there. And that's 20 for McGriff, who had 20 points here a year ago in their win over Kansas.
Yeah, he had averaged 15 a game in all 3 games. Nice.
Lightfoot fouled by Ane, but again, great ball movement by Kansas. It's a Kansas team that came in today tied with Texas Tech for 4th place in the conference, but really the gap, Fran, between the top of K-State and even say TCU really is not all that big. At least Texas at 5-5. Yes.
Yeah, well, Kansas, the way you look at it, I've looked at the schedule, and Kansas should be favored in, they got 7 left after today. They should be favored in 6 of the 7. I don't think they're favored going to Texas Tech on February 23rd. The team that's got a tough road is Kansas State. And take a look at the Nets. These are new. These are out this morning. You can see Kansas has, and by the way, Kansas has more quadrant 1 and 2 wins than anybody in the country. They've got 13. So despite what many people think has been an up and down year, their resume is still rock solid.
They are 1-6 on the road, and they'll be big one day at TCU on Monday night. Ane creates the contact and the foul on Lightfoot. Ane told us that his pass list was basically whoever's tickets he could get from the Oklahoma State team. He's got so many friends and family here from his home in the Kansas City area.
And you were telling me that he'd seen Kansas play as a sophomore.
In high school, yes.
But it wasn't, he didn't get the recruiting tickets. He was up in the top of the arena.
McGriff trying to reverse it underneath. He's fouled as Dedrick Lawson fell on top of McGriff, but both get up. That's on Lightfoot, and that's his 4th. So that's going to get David McCormick off the bench for Kansas.
And McCormick's been in foul trouble today. Another one of those McDonald's All-Americans who I think by his junior year is going to be a very good player here. Not every McDonald's All-American is a one-and-done guy. So Lightfoot goes out, and McCormick's going to get a chance now to show some hustle and muscle.
McCormick made his first career start today. One of the 4 freshmen that started for Kansas. First time in 6 years KU had started 4 freshmen.
Yeah, those 4 freshmen that started in 2013 were pretty good. 2 guys named Wiggins and Embiid who were making a lot of money. I don't know if you noticed that.
And Selden was another one. Frank Mason was the 4th freshman.
Pretty good.
That started that day.
I'd take that lineup.
Lawson And an Oklahoma State foul. Jayhawks have found their swagger here in the second half, Fran.
Oh, man, it's...
North Carolina riding a 6-game win streak, but Miami is balling today, and someone better stop Ibuka Izundu.
Indicative of their defense right now. It's not very good. 3 guys running the ball. Nobody's helping on the open guy in the interior. Right now, Carolina's in trouble.
Chris Lake says 21 for the Canes. Meantime, big one for Michigan State, Cassius Winston. Gone over 20 points in 4 straight games. You'll see him against Minnesota coming up, top of the hour, Mark.
Yeah, looking forward to that, Kevin. Got Jason Benetti, Dan Dockage standing by for that one from Breslin Center. Can Coach Pitino's team handle Michigan State that's been scuffling a little bit?
Both teams have been scuffling. Minnesota trying to fight their way into the NCAA tournament. Michigan State, 3-game losing streak.
McCormick fights for the offensive rebound and allows Dotson to shoot the open 3. They may get McGriff coming over the back of Dotson, but there was just a lot of bodies going for a rebound there.
Yeah, I'd like to see that because McGriff looked like he went straight up. And sometimes you got to understand there's a lot of athleticism in the lane. And if there's no advantage or disadvantage.
It's going to put Kansas in the bonus.
Marcus Pettigrew had a good look at that.
4th foul on McGriff. That's a tough break for Oklahoma State because that takes him out of the game with 7.5 minutes to go. And Grimes shooting at 1-1.
And I don't think McGriff will be out of this game too long, especially with the 12-point deficit. You might as well just throw caution to the wind.
Kansas misses the front end.
4 guards now for Mike Boynton. But that's not going to be a problem for Kansas.
Waters. In and out after the flyby by Dotson.
Those are the ones you hate. You know, great shooters like me when they go in and Lindy Waters is hoping that would go down, but that'll go down. He has been unstoppable in the paint all season unless you bring 2 or 3 defenders to Dedrick Lawson.
20 points today for Dedrick Lawson. He came in averaging just over 19 to lead the Big 12. Likely says, if you're going to let me take it, and Kansas will.
There's a reason they let him.
Reason being that he's now just 4 of 17 in 3-point shooting on the year. Likely almost got the steal. Spin move. Dedrick Lawson smashed down.
And I've said this before, and Bill Self has said this before. He has an awful lot of Marcus Morris in his game because he can score so many different ways and not just in the paint.
Gonzaga had to move out a little extra step and was short with his 3.
Now this is all skill level. I want you to watch. That jump hook is pretty much automatic if you don't bring a second guy to him. And then watch the little step back here. Fade away. That's not athleticism, folks. That's a lot of basketball skill right there.
See the numbers for that trio today, all exceeding their scoring averages. And that's 57 of those 73 points. Those 3 have matched the scoring output of the Cowboys right now. McCormick. A 3rd try. Blocks by an A. Remaining with Kansas.
Well, fans still like McCormick's effort. And as I mentioned, he was a McDonald's All-American, but he's a long-term project for this team. And kind of reminds me a little bit of Tariq Black. Although Tariq was only here 1 year.
And then went to the NBA.
Yeah, but he stays with it. He's very coachable. Coaches like him. Great teammate. He'll be solid.
Came in averaging only about 6.5 minutes per game. He got his first career start today.
He's probably more like Jamari Traylor was. Remember when Jamari became such a workman-like guy? A little bigger.
Grimes 3. McCormick was aggressive on the rebound, but couldn't corral it and lost it out of bounds. Well, if you don't have ESPN Plus yet, get it. ESPN Plus, home to thousands of live events, including college hoops, UFC, boxing, soccer, and more. Plus, you'll gain access to all the 30 for 30. Start your free 7-day trial today. And if you missed the Ivy League last night, Columbia, Harvard.
Triple overtime. Crimson won it. I think it's like $4.95 a month. It's a steal.
It's absolute steal. The Griff is back in the game. Missed the three. Dedrick Lawson lines one up.
You're not going to guard Kansas when he's doing that. I think Phil Self's having fun today. He told us yesterday that with all these young guys, he would enjoy coaching this team.
Ane.
This is a part of Dedrick Lawson's game that's rapidly improved since the first month or two of the season. He was already a dominant scorer, but now you're adding that perimeter game to the mid-range game, the skill level we saw, the inside scoring mark, and I think it's going to come down to me as far as player of the year in this league, to the guy that helps his team win the championship.
Serious. Shayok and Dedrick are probably the.
And I think
Culver's in that mix.
Jared Culver, yeah, the three of them. And if there's a tie, it'll be interesting because the three of those guys are clearly have sensational years. It's amazing when you think about it because you're talking about two transfers, right? Lawson and Shayok. Shayok had 120-point game in 103 at Virginia, and now he's basically a 20-point guy virtually every night.
Drives pass deflected, so that helped Oklahoma State intercept. Jones, nice adjustment. The grip crashing in, it's out of bounds and off Kansas.
The transfers have had a big part of this conference this year, and as is the case now, it's commonplace. Makai Mason, 40 points last weekend.
Hopefully Mason's foot injury not too severe. He had limited minutes at Texas due to that.
That's it.
And the grip just fouled out. Not the foul he wanted to commit 50 feet from the basket to finish his day.
But Dotson's speed puts pressure on you.
Well, he had 20 points last year here at Allen Fieldhouse and a Cowboys win, and he had a pretty good scoring day today, too.
He did. And the effort, the athleticism, again, much like Lawson, the skill level. And while Lawson gets a lot of attention because he plays at Kansas, and rightfully so, Cameron Griff is one of the best players in this conference. And the numbers speak to it, especially when you come in here and do it at Allen Fieldhouse a couple of times during your career.
The great thing about Cameron Griff, on the nights that he may only score 7 or 8, he's going to give you double-digit rebounds, some steals, a few block shots. He can do so much. If you look at the stat line closely enough every game, he's going to give you something.
Yeah, no question, and the effort's always there. This Oklahoma State team, they suspended 3 players. They're gone. Mike Boynton is an excellent coach. I'm just telling you, I've watched him. He's poised. They have to put a class together that can go with these freshmen and these juniors. If they can stock the cupboard, if you will, with talent, there's no doubt in my mind Mike Boynton is going to be one of the up-and-coming young coaches in the country.
Well, they feel real good about their incoming class for next year, but as you mentioned so well a bit ago, recruiting is recruiting. It'll play itself out on the floor.
Exactly. The rankings don't mean anything. And there's that freshman Ane that we talked about.
Didn't hit the rim. Shot clock at 10. The shot clock winding down. A miss by Dedrick Lawson. Kansas by 15 with just over 3 minutes to go. The final score may not be indicative, Fran, as they say, of how competitive this game was for most of them.
I would say 30 minutes, and then Kansas caught fire.
Game that was tied at 36 at the half. Not sure if that was supposed to be a lob for Ane or a shot, but it looked more like a shot and off the mark from Pizaga. There is a lob, but Lightfoot coming down when they got tangled up with a knee and a foul. 2:44 left at Allen Fieldhouse with Kansas up by 15.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots.
In the second half, 5 threes in the last 6 minutes, but he's got to stop Chris Likes the other end, who's got 24, and they're leading.
A 1-point Miami lead. Meantime, if we're going to invoke the name of Kobe, why not talk about the greatest Laker of all time? Magic Johnson in the house. 40-year anniversary of the Michigan State National Championship team. You'll see Minnesota and the Spartans coming up, guys.
So poetic, Kevin. Thank you very much. You and I saw Jerry West last week out at West Virginia.
That's a pretty good start to a great team, all-time team. Magic Johnson, Jerry West.
1-on-1 here for Lightfoot. A miss to the front end. Final 2.5 minutes from Allen Fieldhouse. Game that was tied at 36 at the half. A driving Isaac Likely falls hard on his backside, and Lightfoot just fouled out. Who will get a very nice reaction from the Kansas crowd on his way to the bench. 9 points, actually 6 points, 9 rebounds, a couple of blocks and a steal.
Young man from Gilbert, Arizona. As I mentioned, grew up in a family of KU Jayhawk fans and much appreciated. Like so many of the guys that play on Bill Self's teams who are not one-and-done guys, the role players through the years, the Rellafords, the Tyrell Reeds, the Morning Stars. My man Jeff Hawkins back in the day.
Nice. They're coming up later today here on ESPN. Another huge SEC, ACC college hoop doubleheader for you at 4 Eastern. Saturday showcase presented by 5-Hour Energy. Florida takes on #1 Tennessee. And then at 6, Saturday primetime presented by H&R Block. 2 versus 3. Duke at Virginia. Don't miss the Sonic Blockbuster. Both games also here on ESPN and on the air.
It'll be a lot of fun tonight. Zion Williamson must watch TV. He'll be the #1 pick. He'll make $1 billion playing basketball.
And he's not exaggerating there.
No.
You're being serious. He makes billion with a B.
He is. Madison Avenue's going to love that kid. They already do.
Abaji.
Can't believe Abaji can't make a shot today. It's the easiest shot he's had all day.
He's hit a career high 5 threes.
A little pressure now by Oklahoma State. And I think Mike Boynton's just content to try to get a stop, not foul.
Well, the Jayhawks today have great scoring from including some freshmen, Devon Dotson.
Yeah, well, Devon's been this way the whole season. From the very start of the year, he's been rock solid. And then this guy, Ochai Agbaji, we keep pumping him up, and rightfully so. And of course, the old man of the group, only a junior out of Memphis. Dedrick Lawson, who is really playing like a first-team All-American. If there are 5 better players, then they've had great seasons, but certainly he's in the mix among probably the top 10 players in college basketball this year.
Dedrick won first-team All-Conference in the American when he was at Memphis back in 2017 as a sophomore.
Well, he went to the NBA Combine and did not really grade out well. The athletic testing is what was his, issue, but the skill level, he'll make a roster someday. If he comes back along with these freshmen, who I don't think are going anywhere, along with Azubuike potentially and Marcus Garrett certainly, and Bill Self can finally have a team that's together 2 or 3 years.
Loose ball is going to bounce out of bounds.
And by the way, losing one-and-done guys is not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Right.
When you're attracting the guys like Josh Jackson, Joel Embiid.
And if a guy who you think was going to be a one-and-done sticks around,
yeah,
maybe Quentin Grimes is that guy. So much love.
Wayne Selden, perfect example.
Yeah. Likely spin move. And Kansas is going to improve to 7-4 in conference play, 18-6 overall. Gopher Spartans coming up next on ESPN. But as you said earlier, for 30-plus minutes, this was a very competitive game.
It was. And then the roof blew open because of great outside shooting. If Kansas shoots 39% from three the rest of the conference in the last 7 games, they'll win at least 6. And they'll be right in contention to tie or win another title. Do not rule Kansas out. We saw that last year. They trailed by a game with 5 to go. They wound up winning by 2 games. Of course, Texas Tech had some key injuries, but Bill Self has been through his own adversity this year.
Little crisis management today.
101. Crisis management 101. That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Jayhawks will be back in action on Big Monday at TCU, trying to improve on their 1-6 road record on the year. But today at Allen Fieldhouse, Jayhawks hold court off the glass for Likely. That'll make the final score 84-72 Kansas. Well, the Jayhawks started 4 freshmen for the first time in 6 years, and they come out winners on their home floor today.
And I think the fans appreciated the effort that the young guys gave. Don't forget Mitch Lightfoot, the junior, who was sensational in his own right.
So the Jayhawks, who last lost, came to Oklahoma State here last year, hold serve. Coming up next, that Saturday showcase game, Michigan State and Minnesota. But Kansas wins it here 84-72 over Oklahoma State. Let's send you to the studio.